wanna get it crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here. Know we getting hype. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, 'cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, 'cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, 'cause we about to get down. Coming off the bench now. Waiting for this moment, swinging for the fence now. Coming off the bench now. Gotta get up, 'cause we about to get down.
A blast from the past with a very much interesting way of strategies. Welcome everyone once again to the Valorant Game Changers APAC series open for We're Casters for tonight. My name's Saya and with me is Donut. So when I said blast from the past, both of these teams very much likely have seen each other eye to eye for the longest of times, but with under different names. And of course, you know, some of them weren't on the previous opens, but now they are here and now they are back to fight and ready for this specific stage. Very much excited. And of course, before anything else, we will be having, you know, a very much brief information of the roster of our teams and also the, the basically how their names are set out to be, and we'll tell you guys a little bit about them as well. And so for this, Donut, what are you feeling about our next match in general?
But I'm very excited to see Orangutan back at it again after they've been together in the past opens. They've been given this buff. And Chow and together with Japeeps, I mean, they've been working well with Casper, Mythica, and Sway. They used to be the dynamic duo, but plus the three of these team members, they seem to be unstoppable. They practically built a barrier around them. It's like a very powerful orb, and whenever it's touched, like it explodes. And we've been seeing them play consistently all throughout the playoffs. But for Nigma Galaxy, for the very first time in terms of the playoffs, we're seeing them again, because Aya, Aluka, Hannah, Ivory, and Gwen, they're staples here, and the performance is going to be stellar as expected. We haven't really seen them quite before, at least in 2022 series, but last year they were the goddesses of the galaxy. But now that they're back, it's gonna be an entirely different planet that we have to explore, a new territory. So practically, in terms of statistics, comparing them to other teams in the playoffs, we haven't really had that just yet. We just have the basis of their performance in the past few opens that they've performed, and basically,
Mm-hmm.
it's still quite high. Win rate is high. It's just that in terms of the leaderboard, they're also there. But now, since this is a different realm that we're playing in, Orangutan, we've seen them before, but Nigma Galaxy, now it's gonna be a pick by NGX for Haven. This has been their favorite map, and then Breeze as well for their second map, which was selected by Orangutan. Before, they just really wanted to ban
Mm-hmm.
the bigger maps because they played stronger in the likes of Ascent, in the likes of Bind, but they don't really want to pull those cards anymore. They want to select Breeze because I think in the past open, I think that was open 2. They really performed well in Breeze, and now they've been just really pulling out that card. I want Breeze. I don't want to ban Breeze anymore because we've been very we've shown what we can do, what we've got in
Mm-hmm.
this map. I mean, map number 2 is actually going to be Ascent, so it's going to be a little bit of a switch up, at least in terms of the information that we're seeing now here on screen. Um, well, what do you think about this though? Because in terms of the bans, the best maps of NGX before are banned. Like before,
I
we
mean,
would usually see Aya and Aluga and Icebox, like the
I
dynamic duo.
mean, to be fair, looking at their stats earlier quickly, for Orangutan, they have never touched bind. So that is understandable why it's bind. For the side of Nigma, they there is no fracture for them. That's why it's also banned because you don't really want to open that, map that you don't really or not really comfortable in playing with. So at least those two are given. For the side of Icebox and Split, both of these teams thrive in Icebox. To be fair, they do know their stuff in towards the specific map, and I feel like the reason why Haven was chosen. To be fair, looking at the quick stats right here again, for Orangutan, they were able to win it 6 times. For the side of Nigma Galaxy, they were able to win it. Ooh, a lot of times. Okay, well, counting it to double check, they won it 8 times
Hmm.
as well. So I feel like because this is a pick, I feel if I'm not mistaken, this was a Enigma pick, of a map. So because this is basically the map that they're comfortable with, so that basically answers the question as to why. As for Ascent, however, Orangutan was able to win it more and was able to get more rounds to this. So maybe that answers the question as to why in game number 2 that is the map that is selected. For the decider, of course, it's already there and happening, and I feel like they don't really want to really have that deciding in split because it in terms of Orangutan stats right there, it's quite shaky, and the same thing as well with Nigma. Although Nigma was able to win it 3 out of 4, and for Orangutan it's 3 out of 6. So it's quite a half for both sides. And going back from before, from way back, both of these teams, yes, they were able to fight themselves off, but it's a matter of finding their weak points once again because these both of these teams, Orangutan and Nigma Galaxy, we're going to see them here again, right? So again, this is a first for Nigma Galaxy in Open 4, and Orangutan, they participated or they debuted per se in Open 3. So they're quite fresh in comparison with Bren and or the likes of Alter Ego or in the likes of SMG in general. So with these technically fresh face, but with very veteran players, it's very exciting to see how they are going to play this out, especially for the likes of Haven. Take note, Haven is the biggest, no, considering it has 3 sites in towards our map, so there are a lot of things that they would have to consider whenever they're trying to play in here. And the good points about this is that at some point I feel like these teams or these players were able to participate in scrims with each other, or was able to really know their enemies by heart. So I feel like they do know some amount of habits, or they have basically strategized on what type of gameplay or what type of tactics are they going to dish out in a specific map, or in a map such as Haven. Because looking at their team compositions right now, it's quite mirrored except for Breach, which is in the hands of Kachao, and Aluka with the hands of Reina. So there's gonna be a double duelist lineup here for Enigma Galaxy, and for the side of Orangutan, they will be having more utility oriented type of play right here. So we're gonna start it. If I'm not mistaken, we're gonna start it with Orangutan being the attacker side, for now.
Mm-hmm.
So the good thing about it is that again, a breach complements its skills in maps like these, regardless if it's big or a bigger map or a smaller map. The fact that the utilities of a breach is very much handy in terms of initiating and or disengaging uh entry points is also one of the key factors that I'm looking forward to, at least for Orangutan. For the side of Nigma Galaxy, I do want to see how they are able to pop off a double duelist lineup right here, because yes, they do have the flanking capabilities for Nigma Galaxy, but there's also a risk in having a double duelist
Mm-hmm.
lineup. You don't really have that much of utilities to work with in the long run, especially when you're in defender side.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a risk that they really have to take, especially it's going to be a double duelist setup here in A. But there's nobody else guarding B this time. It's going to be an easy entry, except for this alarm bot that will signal their current location. But Japip's going to be waiting, but the timing is not really in her favor. Aluka takes down one, and she sees a couple of heads. She's wary about the situation, and there's going to be a push here. At least Aya's going to use the Spectre. Aluka is not going to be waiting for Casper. Casper takes her down. And as Ivory takes down Sway, it's trade after trade, and the spike is still ticking. Kachao is able to take down the diffuser. The Casper, they're just gonna spam through the smoke, and it's gonna be kind of taken down, unfortunately. So now the first round goes to Orangutan. The push, the classic push of NGX, was read out well by the team of Orangutan here. They played it so carefully. They wanted to play it safe. So what they covered were areas wherein they knew that the team of NGX would push out from. Even though there is a smoke to cover them, they're not really safe at all from the bullets that can go through it. And even with Kachao's aftershock, it delivered so well in terms of the kill. Because at the moment I said 2v2, immediately it's a 2v1 because of the effective placement of that bullet.
And then so far we're going to see a very an aggressive C take right here. Hannah hiding from smokes will not survive, as the shock dart will lead her to her demise. Kachao is going to plant it towards Deep. An open plant, so we do have post-plant situation. Aluk, however, will be tapping Japip down. And let's see how far this goes. Aluka will be tapped in, will be getting some amount of damage as well. This is a 3. Oh, actually now
One
a
enemy
2
remaining.
to equalize the board. Beautiful wall bang from there. 1
remaining.
versus 1 now. Beautiful jiggle P coming in from Casper as well. Using the recon ball. Will be going for that push instead. Beautiful 3K as well. And a clutch to boot.
I thought that was gonna be now NGX's classic yet again of losing the pistol round, but making their way up the top and making sure they win it 1-1 with a thrifty round, because practically they forced to buy all of these shares. The Ghost for Gwen, it's a small purchase, but it went a long way, because looking at the buy now of Orangutan, they all have to buy the Spectres. They didn't save anything else except for Casper's. And this is now the big advantage of NGX. They have all of the guns that they need to keep the pressure on Orangutan. And with a push, even though they're all together, nothing's gonna stop Ivory. She gets the 3K, and she's left with 15 HP, but it doesn't really matter. She's gonna throw in the alarm, the swarm grenade, and that leaves Orangutan 30th. Where else can they go though? It's practically a lockdown in the B site. If they go through garage yet again, it's gonna be a Aya to first greet them. So they have to decide, not necessarily quickly, but they have to decide smart. And Aya through that door. She sees a small part of it, and she gets the headshot now, Casper. She has to be careful. She spots another one, but it's still gonna be Aya to secure the headshot, and it's a flawless round now for NGX. Well, despite Orangutan having a lower buy, still NGX, all of these wins matter for them.
I'd like to see this replay once again. So Ivory, beautiful 3K over there. The fact that they went in one by one. Look at that pixel peek. Spots out to Peeps and just tap into oblivion. What was that, Aya? And you didn't even want to stop from there. And you also took Omen for the cleanup. And that alone is something that, you know, you would definitely miss for the likes of Nigma Galaxy as well. So I like it, the fact that Nigma Galaxy has the discipline, the trigger discipline rather, for them to they know when to choose their fights literally. But you know, Sway is gonna start this one with a literal bang, taking away our tapper from previous round. Beautiful smoke, however, coming in from Hannah, which is good, and it conceals a slight idea of where they are, and it also forces them to rotate unless they're faking a rotate as well in here. So right now they wait for the smoke to disappear, liking the how they guard the corners here, at least for A site. So they're taking their time. They do still have 50 seconds to spare, but it also leaves an opportunity to at least one of the members from the Nigma to flank. That's gonna be a concussion once again, probably a dash. Oh no, actually Sway gets one. I'll look for the trade, but your Peeps is there for the refrag from A short. So now it is a 2v4.
30 seconds left.
There's gonna be a lockdown into play, but I'm not really sure if this will really phase the rest of Orangutan. Peeps takes down Ivory, and it leaves Hannah all alone. She does have a smoke and a shrouded step to use, but because of the smoke, they're casted by Casper. She can't really go around. Now she goes up to the heaven to see the sights, but nobody's really moving a muscle. They don't really want to give these kills away. And Hannah just TPs away, probably saves this gun, but Casper, the fellow Omen, is out for the hunt. There's gonna be a stun, and they see her, and they kill her. Orangutan take the third round.
Alright, so with that, Orangutan just basically, let's look at the quick replay right here. So Sway started off with a good first one, taking Aya down, make it another as she was able to enter the site. So look at this, Aluka with a 1, but Japeeps quick on her feet to get it done as well. And the post-plant situation was also really good because they managed to secure it to the point where they pushed all the way from A-Link to City to near the stairs of heaven. And right now Orangutan really does know how to keep literally them posted, and like that you see them. Aya taking Kachao down in that fight here. They do know where Sway is right now, so I like the reposition. A little bit of a whiff in there as well, but the rotate from A to C is now happening. Spots out the legs. Mythica takes Hannah down from garage.
Spike down.
The trades here too quick now. It's a 3v3. It's gonna be Gwen, Aya, and Aluka all together, but there's gonna be a two-man flank here. It's Aya and Gwen all together. And I'm not really sure if they'll expect Aluka in that corner. She gets away with murder. Sway is down. And the rest of the members don't really see where Gwen and Aya is. The attacker killjoy is gonna be there, but it's too late. Aluka's already behind them. And they take the round for themselves. No matter how quick the entry is going to be, the retake is slow and steady and very, very smart from the team of EdgyX. And they still had like 14 seconds to spare, even though it was so quick for Orangutan for the trades here. I really admire Mythica really capturing where Hannah was. So those off angles Mythica is ready for. But eventually, after this 3v3 retake, after Alaka takes down one, still Orangutan didn't respond so well because they didn't know that there was the flank. So now NGX cutting it very close, and this time intending to do a little bit of a default play here, Seiya.
Indeed, and for the side of Orangutan, look at how this is basically similar to how Bren and SMG from earlier. They're very proactive in the map using the delayed pushes. Usually in a round you have a minute and 30, right? But look at them, they're not really in a rush as well to pick a side because they're trying to identify which side is the most, vulnerable and is safe to go for that post. But look at that, Ivory for the one, Casper and Kachao for a trade of their own. Gwen will be taking the peeps in the process as well. But right now, it is dwindled to a 2v1. Hannah being the only member once again alive for the team is maybe will try to get into a 2v1 clutch if she does place herself in a good position. I don't think she knows that that's a very quick peek there. Hannah will be taking one nail, but Casper from behind, I think she went through the smoke, through her own smoke, and got her from behind.
Yeah, I mean, a smoke for a smoke, and it was just really so smart of them to use it to their own position. So Casper here, we know how much precision she can get, but given all of the smokes that Hannah was able to do, it didn't really go to her favor. Casper used it against her, crept up behind her to secure the kill, and at this point, OGT, they're looking good in terms of the entry and even sustaining their own power during the post plant. Ivory takes down Sway, but Casper was so ready for the trade. Immediately, Chow tries to enter through, but Aya,
Spike down.
no, I thought she will get away. Peeps got the 2K.
Oh, Hunter's Fury. Gonna tag in one. Nice prediction coming in from Gwen as well. And that is gonna tag none a bit. No, actually Hannah a bit. But the spike, take note, hasn't been planted just yet. So now, at least, I think it's an open plant here, which is actually pretty good. The paranoia. That was unfortunate though. The paranoia didn't have a follow-up to boot. But Hannah, that's gonna be a trade for her. Being detected by the recon bolt. Waiting for the right time to strike in here. Oh, the ring around the rosy. Who is gonna win in here? Oh, look at this! The smoke just extends everything. Goes in towards the smoke, and look at that! The beast just waited for Hannah into the other side. Very big brain, and just like that, Orangutan gets their 50 points.
Where are you? This is the second time around that Hannah, when she places her smoke, it's quite smart how she uses it. But at that point, in that situation, the Peeps was just really smarter. She knew that if she played a little bit back, she had more room to work with in terms of the flick, because you wouldn't really see her. I think she expected her to be revealed at the right side of the smoke. And so she was so ready. That's why her crosshair was just in the middle of the smoke. So she can flick to the left and flick to the right. But speaking of the flicks, Joe, I mean, with how Orangutan is really taking this site, they do it so fast, and it leaves NGX no room for contestation. They just really give the site away, and they prep for the retake, and this is now the lockdown play.
Yeah, Aya here will be taking one Galactica for the trade, making a double for her name as well. Ivory will be taking Japip's for the wall
Player
bang as
standing.
well. A little bit of a whiff from Sway. Let's see how that goes. Casper takes one. Ooh, but not gonna be another for that double peak right there. So it's also a very good step for Nigma that they chose to double peak together rather than going in one by one. And also a good advantage point there is that the spike's already been diffused by half. So again, uh, in that specific replay after that, you see how they were able to isolate the fight. So this is a very good call for Enigma Galaxy to call that a time. Oh, actually, it's OGT. Timeout. It's OGT timeout. Okay, interesting. But nonetheless, whoever does call the timeout, it actually is a good uh, timing, since this also gives an opportunity to reset everything and try to revise what went wrong, especially for I think in the likes of Nigma Galaxy, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why they did the timeout because they won the round before, but unfortunately, they aren't really managing their economy that well. Now they're forced to just use a sheriff, a couple of classics, but I guess beyond just the buys and the weapons that they have to use for this round, they really have to think of how they can be able to stop um this Nigma type of play because before they set the standard for at least gaming for the Philippines, right? Whenever there would be tournaments, you would see Nigma Galaxy at the very top. So now the dynamic duo between Aluka and Aya is always going to be seen. But now it's
Mm-hmm.
evident also
Scanning ahead.
between Gwen and Aya or Aluka and Ivory during these clutch situations. So in these dire circumstances, once NGX gets a foothold
Oh,
like that, like Ivory just taking the head off of Sway and the intent of an entry, and Casper, she's trying to be sneaky about this, but I'm not too sure. And I'm not too sure if Ivory is going to be ready for a couple of heads. She takes down another one.
Spike
I
down,
don't know if she
C.
expects a third, but Ivory just keeps her cool and maintains her distance while Aloka actually goes for the rescue.
so here, ooh, nice storm grenade right there. Forces the peeps out, but the
Spike
frenzy
down,
did not
C.
go in vain
One
here. Hannah
enemy
and Gwen,
remaining.
though, will be having a trade of their own here. Now it's just up to Kachao to basically first plant that spike and second of all, maybe try a 1v3 clutch. But it's quite dangerous because look at how they're positioned. Their crossfires are a little bit away of overkill as well. But I feel like a child can
30
try to
seconds
just
left.
change her location from A at least, maybe an open plant just so she had more space to do this. But right now she's on with the hunt. But Gwen here with better weaponry will be taking her down, and that's gonna be the fifth point for the side. For the fourth point rather for the side of Nigma.
It's really but sorry, it's really looking like the team of NGX, they're painting the picture quite right.
One
So
enemy remaining.
at first they were just drawing the outline and they were missing a couple of swatches basically, but now I'm seeing the clearer picture of how their defense is set to be. They're leaving a lot of the responsibility here towards Ivory, covering garage plus B, and then now it's basically impenetrable, and even Ivory is gonna be here for the rescue to peek out in the right time, the right moment. Even with the paranoia, Hannah follows through with a kill,
enemy
and given
remaining.
that what through the smoke, Hannah, stop that! She even gets the third. A quick round for NGX. Now it's an equal score, 5-5. And OJT, that was after the timeout. Probably NGX used it to their advantage.
Enemy remaining.
Beautiful replay as well, Hannah. You gotta calm down. I wanna know what your dinner was. You gotta give that to me. But then again, Nigma Galaxy, already is able to tie up the scores very early as well, and it's all thanks as well to the game sense basically of Hannah during that previous round. So with this in mind, you notice the discipline that's coming
There.
in from Nigma Galaxy. They don't push unless intended. They don't really. They're the ones who doesn't start the fight. If anything, they wait for Orangutan to really go beyond to them. See, look at that. They give a quick peek, but Aluka there was able to get Sway and Aya just walking past through a long spots out
Cutting their vision.
Casper as well.
So it's looking like the Nigma Galaxy that we used to be seeing. Orangutan, though, it's a big rotation coming from mid. Now they're going to A, and they want to plant the spike, at least, and gain enough credits. They also have the Hunter's Fury for them to use, plus the lockdown to delay. But Mythica, you're so far
Enemy
forward.
remaining.
Alaka's ready for you. And even with this one, the dismiss, they say hi, and Aya just says goodbye. My gosh, that was a quick 3k in terms of capturing mid for NGX, and a quick take once they heard the spike being planted in
Last
8.
round
A lot
before
of
the
them
switch.
swarmed there and had to take control. And even that was a funny moment there. Alaka just dismissing and just watching.
Yeah,
The
definitely. It's like you don't see me, but I am here in spirit. And Aluka there, Aluka's from the longest of times that I've known her, she's very much well-rounded, and well-rounded at the same time, really living her dualist life. Literally, she knows how to live up to that name with prowess. And you gotta hand it to her on that regard. She knows how to use her Empress in the right in an amount of time, and it's speed as well. So going back in towards this game, they're gonna try another A take here, ending the Galaxy from the previous round. They've already is ahead of the scoreboard by 1. So this could be a start of their momentum-based performance here. If Nigma Galaxy is given the chance. Orangutan, however, I'm not gonna count them out just yet. They do have a very good sense of play style or tactics in mind. I feel like the only reason why it's not heavily executed enough is, again, the sin in teamwork. Kachao will be taking Aya down at the moment.
Run.
So okay,
Spike planted.
both lockdowns are in place. Lockdown is destroyed, however, by Gwen. Next thing we see, it's supposed to be
Thunder.
One
The
enemy
Rolling
remaining.
Thunder.
so yeah.
And timing for Kachao and the peeps to peek all together. Hannah, she wanted to strike, but unfortunately, Sway just finishes, and Japeeps just used
Switching
her Hunter's
sides.
Fury to just try and secure the round. But this, given Orangutan's performance, there's a reason why they selected this map, right? They didn't want anything to do with the maps that they banned. I told you. I mean, it's the Rolling Thunder and Japeeps just peeking at the right time and the right moment, and the last bullet was the last bullet to
I
the
did
head.
notice how Kachao was able to just tap the night away in towards that entrance to city from earlier. And again, you did mention the Rolling Thunder really does pay a good amount. Oh, I think it was a Rolling Thunder, more like the concussion, the little version
Mhm.
of Rolling Thunder, the little version, which is same difference. But the fact that they were concussed and stunned at the same time, that really is a big factor during that previous game that made it into kind of like a reset, a 6-6. So amongst the 3 games that we the two matches that we have today, this is basically like the closest, because again, it's like a reset. So we can't really determine yet who has the momentum here.
Mhm.
And the fact that we're going to switch sides very much soon for later, the performance that I'm seeing right now for both sides of the team, it's really a throwback. So sometimes it's a nostalgic feeling that sometimes
Yeah.
leave you speechless from earlier, because it kind of reminisces their previous performances from various tournaments, as we've been seeing them from quite some time. So right now, for the side of Nigma Galaxy, I can do say that they really do have it and way more stronger aspect. I feel like they have literally glued themselves together here once they have returned in towards our open. And it's very much evident simply because of their play style.
Yeah.
It has changed from overly aggressive to still aggressive, yes, but with caution this time. They are taking precautionary measures, at least for Nigma Galaxy. They, in terms of defending, they do not attack unless the crosshair or the heads are in their crosshairs, or the fact that let's say Orangutan didn't shoot first. That was their tactic here on their defender side. Orangutan, however, I can also say the same thing for them. The fact that in terms of their attacking side, the thing is they know how to play around rush pushing or and delaying their pushes as well. And playing for peaks also what has been one of their key highlights in this specific half as well. So I'm pretty excited to see how the next one is going to happen, simply because this is the second half, and of course this is also the deciding half to whoever wins this first game.
Definitely. I mean, when it comes to
Scanning
OGT,
ahead.
I mean, we have NGX is really OG in terms of really setting the tone and setting up the pace in the female scene. But right now,
Out of
they're
charges.
head to head with one of the fresher perspectives of female Valorant here, and with Japeep's leadership and Casper's IGLing, basically it's now turned into something something even different, because gone are the days that we you would usually see the double duelist setup,
Mm-hmm.
and then also now the new wave has come in for the double initiator, double sentinel. I mean, every other combination that you can get, but right now it's working so well for NGX, at least because they've already taken down Sway. And Sway was alone yet again, but it's a bait and switch because Aya already reported to them. I hear their footsteps. They're running away from the site, but I'm still gonna be cautious here while I check the corners. But now they've taken the site, and easily, just like
30
that,
seconds
once they
left.
got the kill against Sway,
Spike planted.
spike has been planted. Japeeps, she has nowhere to run. She wants to at least secure information for the team, so she shoots out her recon bolt, and in timing is gonna be paranoia from Hannah
remaining.
and Aya as well to secure the headshot so quick for the retake. Aya takes down the peeps as well, and NGX, as you mentioned, yes, they are aggressive, but now they take it with caution. You wouldn't really see Alaka anymore, like pushing out of CT because they want to secure this win so much. And instead, they play for the crossfires. They play for the doubles, and that worked so well for them, even in the pistol round. What more now that they have SMGs for against OGT?
It's very much expected that Nigma Galaxy is going to win this second round of the second half, because again, you did mention they do have specters to work with now, and of course gun difference can also go so far. But there are times where in there are thrifty plays that are happening, but I don't think that's gonna happen on this one specifically, because again, Nigma Galaxy, we have mentioned them that they do know their stuff, they do know what's happening, and the fact that they are able to capitalize on that advantage is also quite good for the side of Nigma Galaxy. For Orangutan, though, the best scenario that they can do is to try and take them by surprise. Because again, weaponry not in their best position possession yet. So right now they just have to do the best that they can to at least try to catch them off guard. So right now they're slowly going in towards a short. Surprisingly, didn't see the killjoy there, but Aluka will be securing Mythica in towards a short, clearing the view. And now this is an open plant for Orangutan. Of Orangutan for Orangutan. And right now we are seeing oh no, it's actually a plant for Nigma Galaxy. Oh, you're right, they switched. And okay, Ivory here securing a short. Not sure if they spotted out on long, but I feel like who is this? Japanese is quite in a pinch in her position at the moment because both short and long are guarded. Aluka as well is just being aggressive, going in towards heaven at this point with no fear. Going in the
One
smoke.
enemy remaining.
Oh, Aluka still is able to spot out Kachao in that sense, and Aya to clean up the crew with a flawless takes it for their 8th point.
What a flawless round from NGX. I know there's a disparity in terms of the weaponry, but still how they were able to time well. Aya moving forward together with Aluka, and I mentioned before, I mean, this is not necessarily a caution for Aluka, but seeing this, it's so reminiscent of their plays before and how she's able to take control as the Reina. And now I think there's something similar that they can actually play now if they have these SMGs. They can overwhelm them in shorter range. So this is the play now. They want to do the B plant, but Kachao takes down Aya in the moment. She takes a little bit of damage from the aftershock, but Mythica's turret as well. Given all of the damage done, it's the turret to secure the kill, and Mythica as well with the headshot. It's a flawless round for NGX, the previous one, but OGT, they want to get the win. Well, NGX still has the bye though, so not really sure what's gonna happen in the next one. But OGT, we're feeling their claws. We're feeling their claws against Nigma Galaxy.
And again, as you mentioned, these games are very much near to each other because they do excel in their own way right here. So we're starting to see that Orangutan, they do have a very nice if I'm not mistaken, they are defender sided. Yeah, they do have a very nice defender sided to say the least. So, but we have yet to see because we are going to progress into a new round. So let's see how effective their defensive is. So to start it off, they're quite dispersed in towards the map, which is great. They kind of heavily stack A here, which leaves C or B in a very vulnerable spot. I like it, however, that Casper is just spraying in here just so that it can delay their entry point. So given how they gather here, they're gonna go from garage to C, I assume. They're gonna wait for that swarm grenade to finish, and this could be a possibility for them to conquer them out.
It's gonna be a C split. They've already taken control of the site, but because of the smoke, a lot of coverage has been done. They don't really check Casper there. Gets 2 headshots, but unfortunately, Aya's gonna be there to secure. And Kachao runs out of bullets. Now the plant is gonna come online, and Japeeps is left alone. She does have the recon bolt, a pair of shock bolts as well, but I'm not really sure because each of the entryways are covered. Hannah's looking towards CT. Japeeps, however, just peeks at the right moment. I mean, the crosshair of Hannah is just straight right through the head, and NGX, they get the 2-point lead after a couple of equal score lines. Like it was a 6-6 when we started. NGX won the pistol round, and then yet again they pull back and they get the 2-point lead.
Indeed. So it's similar to a rally, but this time NGX is trying their best to really pull their ground and keep maintaining this specific gap. And right now, Sway here with the push coming in from C. Very nice touch there. Now he does have. Now she has to have a gun to use. Paranoia will be blinding them in towards the side. Beautiful transition of Aya from that box down below towards A short. Now Gwen is going to plant the spike. Not sure if they were able to spot out Aluka though, but look at this, Japeeps with the slow crouch. He spots out the arms. Aluka takes her down, and I feel like they've been hearing footsteps in towards spawn. Casper, however, taps in Aluka from the entrance, and look at this, uses the smoke to conceal a little bit of identity in there, and using the concuss, try and stun. Let's see. For Nigma, they just have to buy time. Right now, look at that beautiful spray. The help of both sides of the team, and just a right click from Hannah to clean it up, and it gains them their point once more.
Yeah, and the lead's getting bigger and bigger now. In terms of the attack, as you mentioned, like NGX, they're very known for aggression, and it's coming together and how they would take the sites. And even when it comes to the post plant, Hannah had the intention of really creating the element of surprise for them and shrouded with a shrouded step into heaven. But she did protect herself using the using her own smoke, and then just waited still
Mhm.
there while the rest of the members of OGT was ready for the retake. And I loved how confident they are with each other. I mean, the ladies of Nigma Galaxy, because they don't really set up themselves for a crossfire. They each guard an entryway, and then immediately, if there's going to be one fallen member, a requirement is going to be a trade.
Mhm.
And I think that's what's good about them, because they're so aware of their surroundings and they're so quick to respond. And I guess that's one of their advantages here in the map of Haven. OGT, if that's going to be the case of NGX, they also need to be quick on their feet.
Mm-hmm. Quick-witted, if we may, and I do like the point that you said earlier about making their utilities as like extra terrains, and specifically those are the smokes, because again it kind of narrows down the angle that you're going to look at, and them thriving in that said fact is already good itself. It's a kind of tactic that you'd really want to take note in for future references. But right now, looking at how they are rotating, looking at how the pacing that they do in terms of at least for attackers, they're taking it time. They're trying to clear everything up first. So look at this, a lot of skills to be thrown out by Kachawan here, but is going to lose that aim fight, or that duo. So right now, there's also
Spike
another one.
planted.
Aya here, unfortunately, actually, Aya was able to take Onatika down and was able to survive from being detained. Hannah, already ready from the flanks, takes down a Casper. Spots out the Killjoy as well. Japeeps for the trade, but Aluka will take Sway down, and not gonna stop from there. Uses the Empress to move herself nearer from Japeeps, and this is already 11-7 in favor of Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's called an Empress, and when Alok actually uses it, she really does show what an Empress is like. She has so much power um when she pops this off, and it's expected of her to deliver that way, and she doesn't really play back. A lot of players as Reina, they like to play it back and play it safe. But no, she already has that power. I can heal myself after a kill, so why not? Let's move forward. And by moving forward, now they have the biggest lead that we've seen, at least for this game. It's a 4-point lead in NGX. They're looking to get coordinated. They're looking to push all
Mhm.
together, and the Lear and
Oh.
Paranoia all at the same
Oh.
time. Alaka takes down Kachao, and in this corner
See?
is a very helpless agent. Alaka's out for the hunt, and she spots out to Beeps. She was on her back, and Aya is out for the hunt. She does have
One
the shield
enemy
in her
remaining.
hand, but still able to connect to Casper and Hannah to finish things off against Mythica. And now match point. Say a match point.
Definitely, and see, this is what we've been talking about from earlier. Look at the quick replay over here. See that Alika baits her dismiss out just so that she can get a more vision there. And look, that the smokes from earlier is used as technically their shield, just so that it denies vision away from Orangutan, so that they have no choice but to actually spray and can have the chance for Enigma Galaxy to go in a position to safety. And with those skill usages is also quite good for the side of Nigma Galaxy, because they know how to experiment. They know how to to be resourceful about the current resources that they have at the moment. So right now they're really popping off right here, Donut, and it's just really nice to see because again we haven't seen them for the longest of time, and yet there are some things that don't really change. Ivory here will be winning that battle between Mythica towards Silong. So I guess, ooh, as I say it, Casper jinx me to it and does take Ivory down. But there is going to be another for Casper once again in here. Spike is with Casper this time. So this is interesting because Nigma kind of like split together. And that was a good opportunity for Orangutan to just push C long because it's not really used as often, at least in this game. That's going to be the concussments again, so at least they know. Let's see if it's going to force to reposition. There you go. You heard the dash as well. They haven't planted the spike though, so that is something that you have to consider. They have to hunt if they don't want to if they do want to win this
Last player standing.
Oh,
Kachao though takes down Hannah
10 seconds left.
while she was running, but she's left in the sticky situation. She has 5 seconds to plan, but it's not a bluff, and that's why Japeeps calls it. And now Aya is taken down, and they managed to slow NGX down. This is the most important part of how OG plays. You mentioned they're very momentum based, and they really pull energy from each other when in fact that they're whenever Casper is going to be getting these 3Ks, getting these clutches, and even like Japeeps winning these multiple duels, they get energy from each other, and this is a much needed win. And with Sway now holding the operator, this might make all of the difference, although there's a little bit of a miss there for that shot. The rest of the members of NGX, they're playing this careful. They're walking out of here, but I don't really think it's gonna be true. It seems like it's a bait and switch. After the flash, they go back and make sure that their lives are still intact because Sway is still here with the operator. Whoop! That was a quick switch.
quick switch indeed. And again, look at that. No hesitations and actually using the skills once again. So 50 seconds on the clock, to say the least. Let's see how they are going to go with this. If an arm is seen in there, that's going to be in a very difficult spot, my guy. But look at this. Aluka still able to see one. Not going to be another. Dismissed just in time. But where was the upper, though? Oh, repositions City gotcha. But Sway spots out one, but is going to be pushed by Ivory for another.
30
And
seconds
the
left.
spray is going to be heard. Aluka, though, will be taking Japeeps off hell side
Spike
of
planted.
a site. So it's only up to Mythica and Casper to make things work in here, or else this could be game for Nigma Galaxy. So tries to smoke off a short right here, uses the paranoia. Is there going to be a push that's going to happen here? Not so much, but lockdown. There you go. That's going to be one. Not going to be another. As Mythica goes for the trade. Hunter's Fury was evaded. Lear as well tries to use this as a terrain, but from behind, Hana from heaven is able to get Mythica down, and ladies and gents, Nigma Galaxy takes game 1 of this best of 3.
I mean, that was the real backstab of all. I mean, Hannah, Mythica was in the midst of the clutch of her life, basically, but Hannah, just from the backstab, we know her to use all of her utilities that way. But the shrouded step up to heaven allows you so much possibilities, either to stop those that are in rotation, or even really secure that win for NGX. And speaking of the win, Aloka is winning right now as the Reina with 23 kills and an ACS of 293. Not so far though from her is actually NGX Hannah. I mean, this is also one of her comebacks, so I'm pretty excited to see her now capture a very new role for the team. So her being that smoke that controller for the team allows her to use all of her utilities so well, coming from an initiator role. So she uses all of her smokes to her advantage. And while for the rest of the team members of NGX, they showed us that the comeback is real. And looking
Indeed.
at the stats here, comeback is real, and it's all in favor of NGX.
Indeed, and of course, it's very much seen. But there were moments, however, that it was very close for the side of Nigma Galaxy and Orangutan, especially in the first half of the game. I guess it's safe to say that during that first half, they were still testing out, or we're still checking out to see who does have the upper hand. But everything changed once the second half happened, and it was basically Nigma Galaxy really thriving into that said half. They know how to use their utilities. Again, we've been talking about this earlier. We've been giving emphasis that they're very much resourceful with whatever they have. These are the highlights of the game. They started off with Ivory with the 3K when during their defender sided is very much nice, and you can really see the way that they aim as well, and the amount of anticipation that they do for this specific case. And I don't know about you, Donut, but it's really nice to really see Nigma Galaxy back into our open.
Yeah, and their first match is against Orangutan, one of our staples now here in the year of 2022, right? So now we're seeing at least OG 2021 and OGT 2022. So this is a pretty interesting matchup because the selection of the map is entirely up to the team of OG. Now we're looking at the second map. At least I think there's a lot in store for us in map number 2 because OG they don't really want to go down without a fight, right?
Definitely.
And they want to respond back, and knowing the resiliency that the team has with Japeeps, Kachao, and even Casper and Mythica. I mean, they all really just work together. I mean, there was an opportunity, like a silver lining when Sway picked up that operator, right? And it was a barrage of kills here and there. But unfortunately, NGX was actually just a little bit better there in the map of Haven.
Yes, but of course, we will get to see if game number 2 will lead us to game number 3 as Orangutan tries to force it out, or will Nigma Galaxy debut with a score of 2 when we come back after a short break.
The goddesses of the galaxy are back here, and comeback is real, as we would always see it when we play our games, right? And the comeback is seen in game number one, basically a debut for the ladies of Nigma Galaxy, throwing away a point from the ladies of OGT. So a couple of rounds were seen in terms of strength from Orangutan. They were beating off of their chest. There was
Mhm.
some rounds that there were pressure, but now that we are into the second map, say what do you think will happen now? Do you think OGT will fight for their life in the map of Ascent?
Okay, so again, this is similar to the game from earlier, right? So everyone has played in Ascent, and here looking at it, in at least from what we've seen in the performances in Haven, both of our teams are can play it pretty quite close. So the only thing that will defer them here is their, again, not just the mastery of the map in general, because it's already a staple that they know this map by heart, because it's very much common, and it's very much chosen whenever their preferred map is either banned or is been chosen by a different team. So in this specific scenario, again, it's more on their plays and their tactics on how to handle Ascent, because Ascent, um, think of it as two sites with one big cross in the middle, as the middle site. So it's been demonstrated earlier by the first matchup we had. You can literally go straight there and into this and into the spawn and still catch them off guard. That's a tactic. But I feel like it's going to differ here for both sides of the team, because again, they do have a different take in comparison with how Brand Victress and or SMG do and perform. Because Brand Victress and SMG, they do have the tendency to sometimes be aggressive if need possible. This time, we're, again, you mentioned earlier, we're talking about the goddesses. Before, that was their play, that was their strategy. Now we're seeing a new face of Enigma Galaxy here, in which aggression with caution. And if they are going to apply that once more here onto the second game, and I feel like they will definitely thrive in this map. However, we do also have the Queens of the Jungle here, Dona, which is, Team Orangutan as well. Very much close, and they were able to tie it out in the first half during game number one. So here in game number two, I have been seeing the players personally on how they play a set, and I feel like they do also know some amount of lineups as well, depending on their agent compositions here in towards Ascent. So if that is also used to its maximum extent, I feel like, again, this could be another close fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen the team of Orangutan play in Ascent, and they just basically beat a couple of teams here because they're so comfortable in this map. But now that they're against Enigma Galaxy, basically it's a fresh start. You don't really have that much data to assess the strategies. It's their comeback game and their comeback playoffs here. So not much to work with in terms of really capturing how they would play, given that Hannah is now the controller for the team, and they have Gwen as a very solid support for the team. So I mean, we've seen Gwen play in another team, but this dynamic, it totally changes the game. And even when with Ivory, Ivory, we all know her as the solid anchor for Nigma
Mm.
Galaxy. It's still quite different. It's not the same, but it's a new perspective, and I'm quite excited to see it. However, for Orangutan, now that they've lost map number one, we know that they're also comeback queens. Like the likes of Japeeps and also Kachao, they are inspired by these adversities and their challenges,
Mm-hmm.
and they convert it to a slight motivation. So now I think they have a deeper well to draw from, and I hope that this is a new and refreshing way for them to take Ascent, because they already played this, they know this by heart. It's really now assessing how they're able to take down the goddesses, as we mentioned earlier, because they are the queens of the jungle. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite surprised now, at least as early as now, and when it comes to the buys and the loadout of Orangutan, all of them choose to use a ghost. Do you have any opinion on this? Yeah.
I I have a very interesting opinion on Ghost because I do believe that a ghost, especially in the very start of the game, it destroys your economy. It's I even like one or two. Like let's say in game one everybody chooses save and then suddenly there's two people that you or three that chooses ghost. If you do lose the first two rounds of the game, it kind you will be seeing the economic disparity of the teams. So okay, five ghosts if it's their preference. I'm not gonna really go into that. It's just that I just feel that they could use this in a different round, not specifically with the very first pistol in the pistol round. And it could again it I think it's more on the money for me. And for the side of Nigma Galaxy, they do have a sheriff, two ghosts, alternator, and one with a classic and an armor. So it's quite a different take on how they'll be going for with the pistol round here, which I can't really blame because again we've been mentioning this time and time again that pistol round is very much crucial in determining one's momentum here. So with both of our teams having different takes on that, I'm excited to see how or who rather is going to win with their perspectives in mind. And the next thing that you'd also want to watch out for is the third round because okay, you lose if one of you loses the first one, expect that you would also lose the second one, but the third round that's basically the main deciding factor of mostly everything.
Yep. And when it comes to the decision on in terms of the agent selection as well, Sway has been favoring the neon pick, and
Mhm.
it's still the same look for Enigma Galaxy. Aya is the Jet, and Aloka still keeping that Reina. It's been working well for them. That's the reason why they were dubbed as the goddesses of the galaxy. And now. Looking at this, she's looking to take her reign here. Ivory takes down Sway. At least that was a quick take, but
Destroyed.
they all pushed forward, and the moment Ivory just dodges that, I wouldn't want to say bullet. That's actually a shock bolt, but she dodges that shock bolt, but she has already expended
Mhm.
the rest of her utility, so she waits for members of NGX now. And Casper, she's looking to take a little stroll. She wants to see if somebody is here. And I think they have to
I
time this
like it.
carefully, yeah, because the turret is activated there in B lobby.
Definitely. Oh, nice tap coming in from Casper though from Speedway. That's gonna be a trade from both sides of the team though. Not looking into towards the corner here.
Last
Gwen was
player
able to take
standing.
one, but Kachao and the gang was able to trade, but Aya takes the last stand. That was a bit of a not really chaotic, more like a good exchange of bodies in towards the pistol. But then again, I did mention before the fight even started. I like the tactic that Nigma Galaxy is planning because they're planning to sandwich the members of Orangutan because majority of them are in sight.
Yeah, and that was a good case as well of not just trades with just the ghost and the sheriff, but also the kill with the utilities. And we see how effective Gwen is with all of the shock bolts. And at this point, if the defense is so much stronger in terms of the utilities, it's quite hard to really go inside. And Aya, my gosh, that first kill was so
One enemy
crispy, and
remaining.
each of them are delivering as ordered. Aya wants to take down one. Can I have another one of that? And she still gets the flawless round for the team. NGX.
It's like eating your favorite viand and then you ask for extra rice. That's what happened here. Look at
Yep.
that. Taking Casper down. and Aluka as well with a little bit of a share on that buffet, and Aya to really finish everything all off. It was a very, very good treat for them in towards the second round. And it was nice because it's as if it was orchestrated smoothly because Nigma Galaxy
Grenade.
predicted to where they'd be positioned next, and that's something that takes a lot of practice to do. Like for example, you throw out these skill sets here, so you're expecting them to go, example, to the left. And when they do go to the left, your teammate is already there, ready for them, ready to aim at them, and that requires a lot of thinking and synergy as well.
Yeah, in terms of the synergy, it's like, okay, I've got your back, but you can go a little bit forward. It's like taking the first steps of a baby. You would
Mm-hmm.
want it. You would want the baby to really do it well, but still, it's there's caution as you mentioned and sway here. It does the entry so well, takes the first blood, and together with Mythica, they take the site of B. And NGX, they're so far away from this, and the rest of the members here, I think it's gonna take a little bit longer than expected for them for the retake, but at least it's gonna cover some ground. There's so much time for them to play with, and it just boils down to who gets the first kill. It's Casper against Aya. And Sway, however, pulls back. So, oops, Casper takes down Hannah. Hannah was too reckless to just run through the smoke. And Casper's waiting yet again, and she secures the third and Kachao as well with her own. And it's a flawless round for OGT. You mentioned how integral this round is going to be, and OGT got it from them.
And look at this quick replay right here. So Casper takes Aya one down from that corner. Really use that AD to good usage and spray the night away. But Casper, again, she did her job for the crew, and I'm pretty sure that the others would definitely do their own parts as well. So right now, looking at our map right here, they may be eyeing for mid side first, just to see if they can have a safe route here for our attackers. That's going to be actually, that was a good shot more by the Neon here. Looking at that with the exchange, the Peeps takes one. It's going to be another, though, because look at this. Our attackers are slowly trying to crawl in towards mid-side. If Hannah doesn't realize this by then, this could be a game for Orangutan.
Yeah, and at this point, in terms of the attack, I mean, it's all going the way of OG, and even now, there's gonna be like kills here and there and catching the team of NGX off guard. And this is something that OG is very, very good at. They play it slow, they play it secure, because they really want to secure the win. And at this point, I mean, with no matter how slow NGX are in terms of the retake, they don't really budge, right? So they want to stay within their own site, but no, OG will make sure that they find a weakness point in those sites, and them just playing so slow to capture mid and catch everybody else off guard was their play. And I see that OG has been stellar when it comes to these team plays, yet slow plays.
Okay, so a little bit of a spray down in towards smoke right here, trying to deny entry from tree, which is basically the play for Orangutan right now. So the spike has been planted here. Nice position from Sway towards heaven. Bit of a risky play though, but still managed to win that fight against Aluka. Maybe a double updraft, not gonna see anyone here. Japeeps takes Hannah down. Aya for the trade. It's gonna be another though. Mythica playing on the edge here. It's gonna be one, not gonna be another as Ivory taps her down.
One enemy
Another
remaining.
once more. Aya here tries a wide swing, but Sway is there to transition herself from one angle to another, getting their third point.
And this is the most important part of the post plant, right? So it's also not giving away any of your position. So even if I was able to take down one, the rest of the members there just really held down their ground. At least one by one, they were able to get the kills, and Sway just delivered as expected from them. If ever Sway does go down, does fall down, there's gonna be an instant trade, and those are the things that OJT, we've seen them get better and better and better at every single time they perform here in the opens. And at this point, early on, Aloka, very greedy, just pushes through the smoke to take down one. Dismisses away though, very low in terms of HP, but we all know that once she gets another kill, she can get healed up immediately.
Mm-hmm. So here, uh, a minute a minute still to spare before the spike is planted. Neon uses the wall to get a bigger picture, but look at this, too preoccupied though. Sway takes one, make it another, and let's see. Oh, but Gwen
down
takes
A.
two with the barbecue. Let's go, and we do see
Enemy
here
remaining.
Ivory securing the site and is able to transfer crosshair from A main to to short to tree. And that alone was actually a good feat because it kind of gave them slight hesitations to what happens next, at least for Orangutan. And the fact that Gwen was able to get two as well in the process of her ultimate, that's also something that you have to take account for, because they know, they kind of anticipate your location, whether you're going to the left or to the right. So again, another attempt at mid here, trying to use the drone to see any vital information. Look at that, another 100 Fury to be used, but wasn't able to spot fully because I wasn't able to pass the things. And now looking back, okay, here for Orangutan, right? If they do want to make this work, I feel like they kind of have to do what Bren has done
Mhm.
during game one. I feel like if they do rush push, because we've noticed that it's quite delayed in their pushes right now at the moment. So, and that gives Nigma Galaxy time to rotate. But look at that.
Spike down.
Look
B.
at that spray coming in from Gwen. Was
Enemy
able to
remaining.
contain them in a place despite the trade coming in from Casper. It wasn't really enough because, again, because they weren't able to rush push, it gave them the time to rotate and use the utilities wisely. And instead of that wall being favorable for Orangutan, it actually was favorable
Down B.
for Nigma Galaxy instead, because it's as if they caged them into the entrance of B main instead.
Yeah, definitely. And if there is going to be that use of the wall, right, there's nowhere to go but straight. So that's the reason why Gwen just positioned herself in the middle and sprayed down um, those that are entering towards the site, and her spray through the smoke got her too. So that's value out of that intuition yet again. I mean, OG, they're calling for a timeout. They're trying to figure out how do we try and stop NGX from getting these openings, because there's always going to be an attempt by either Aya or Aloka when
Mhm.
it comes to taking control of mid and securing that first kill. It would be either Aya um peeking there towards the arches, and then Aloka there by short. So at least they're able to get away with the kills, but still, the conversions for both of these, and even when it comes to Gwen and using all of the utilities, it's been very very great. A great assistance for both of the fraggers of the team. And OG, they have to figure out how to take these two down. Is it going to be all together? Is it gonna be at least a default play, as we've seen them so slow and work it out so well? But at the moment, they want to try B yet again. I think they've already learned their lesson. So is there gonna be a fix in terms of how they would push through.
You should run.
Again, it depends. Okay, sure, they will be putting the lockdown here, but up to what extent? They have to capitalize on this lockdown here. But them retreating and using the lockdown as bait, I don't think it would be into good use. Simply because, what do you call it? Simply because, it's like it was an opportunity for them to free up their space in towards B side. But then again, look at the plan that they made. They let Casper take the spike and just plant it into towards B. But look at this now, because he's just alone and the other members retreated. The other members of Nigma Galaxy just take this into account. Now the spike is half the
Last
team.
player
Kachow will be taking some kills right here, but that's gonna be one. Is it gonna be another though? Because look at this.
Great use of utility from Japeep. She threw in that bolt at the right time. It allowed Mythica. If it's not gonna be Japeeps to secure the kill, Mythica's ready to do the wall bang kill, and that's the beauty of coordination. Even though we don't really see where the spike is planted, I can give that information to you, and that's the value that Japeeps brings to the table. That initiation, that timing, that coordination, and as well as Mythica's stronghold. They're not really moving a muscle, because if she was tempted to really peek out, then it could have been a fall in terms of demise. But time is running out. At least Sway a quick rundown, at least for A. I think there was a change of plans. Change of plans, though. Alka gets 2. We're just waiting for the smoke. Unfortunate for OG.
I was about to say that could have been an opportunity for Orangutan to go from Cubby, because they can double peek that. But then again, we do see Aluka getting 3, if I'm not mistaken, before being taken down by Casper. But then again, Casper, being the only member alive, tries to hide in the enemy smoke. But this is very dangerous, because look at this. It's a 3 versus 1. They can go for the crossfire, but they're already keeping their eye out for B or for mid. So it's just a matter of time before Hannah may or
30
may not be
seconds
able
left.
to spot them out. The smoke will indicate otherwise where it came from. So let's see. This is a very, very small corner. And Casper still takes 3 in the process. That's going to be information now for NGX. So 14 seconds left for Casper
10
to
seconds
plant
left.
the spike. She will be able to make it. So the post plant is going to happen. If Casper is able to isolate the fighting. Oh no!
She missed
Will she make it?
Oh,
Oh,
I thought
she did. She did
missed
make it. Oh, that was very close by a millisecond. He was able to make it, but that is going to be the tries to find an information. Recon Bolt denied here as well, Donut, and tries to take a peek here. Both of them will plan to crossfire
remaining.
instead, but is she able to isolate the fights here? Okay, we do see Aya faking the defuse. Tries to just buy time. I like it how Casper's just buying time, and that's gonna be the ace for Orangutan, getting their 5th point.
And this is the first ace that we have for the night for the stream. I mean, Casper, she always delivers when she's needed the most. And in these times that there is pressure, she's always going to be up for the challenge. And the first kill is something that we expected of her, but this one, her really playing against time and against the knowledge that Aya would Aluka would be able to just peek out. That's just amazing. That's pure Casper plays there. But Hannah, she's bad. She brings out the operator and Aluka as well. That was a quick and flawless round for NGX. No one passes through Cubby anymore. And that's the reason why only maybe OG doesn't really want to go through that.
It's as if there was a sudden wall that blocked their entry points here. Hannah with the first blood, Aluka with the double here, with a beautiful collat from Cubby, and everyone just cleaned up the place afterwards. And it's as if Nigma Galaxy doesn't want to really fall far behind from the score. So if you notice, Donut, this is also a similar feat that happened during game number one. Both of them were rallying until they had equal amount of points. Do you think it's also going to be a similar thing for this one?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it's going to be a rally, a point for NGX, a point for OG, because it's not just about assessing the situation, but it's also about the skill that's really seen in this in this arena. So basically, this custom game is filled with so much talent, and that's the reason why there are flawless rounds. There's a clutch from Casper all the time. Opening duels won by both of the teams, and you cannot really tip the scale in any of these teams. It's just all about the strats and choosing what's right for that specific moment. And Sway, she's trying her best to create the opening for the team. She's tagged down to 6 HP, and Hannah, she's picked up the operator yet again, but Aya just shuts down Sway
Ooh.
with that quick peek there in mid.
30
Like
seconds
it
left.
how Nigma Galaxy is just literally quiet yet very lethal at the same time with the current performance that they're showing us right now. So we do see Aluka wandering off from mid, spots out the Mythica, takes her down from mid link. Ivory again uses the smoke as a terrain to block her sights, isolated the fight once more. From site to the
Last
near the
round
entrance
before
door,
the switch.
garage door, and then generators. That and the smoke really helped conceal her location as well. So Aya starting off taking down one. See, look at that. That's another one. That's for the tree, and again for generators. It was a bit too late for them to discover where Ivory was specifically, and that was just good way to really control the sprays and to really get those fight or to separate those fights.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why she's called Ivory, because that was so smooth, right? I mean, we couldn't really expect that from anybody else, but Ivory.
Yeah.
And well,
Very much.
yeah, I mean, every time that they would try and rush through A, there's gonna be a wall, and it's not a Sage wall. It's gonna be the Ivory wall, and it's quite hard now to penetrate that A site. So they're trying their best to look for other entry points, and Aluka hears everything. They hear the frenzy bullets, the sprays, and Sway. I'm not too sure this off angle by Aya is gonna be expected, but Aya's the first to be seen. But Aya is just a turtle there. She's just waiting for the push, and they have nowhere else to go. A fault line initiated doesn't really slow down anything else. Aluka spots out one because she was glowing red here, and even with that rolling thunder, Aluka, she's still able to hear the kill. She was dazed but not confused. She takes down two while
Switching
she's
sides.
stunned. I cannot
Aluka.
believe what just happened.
Looking at the quick replay right here, Donut, that's going to be the Rolling Thunder coming in from Kachao. Look at this, the duration of the stun, the spray control coming in from Aluka in this specific fight, and yet still was able to maintain composure by after being concussed for a while, immediately transmits to from a Vandal to a Classic just to take it down from Bamboo. And that was just a beautiful performance from Aluka. Pretty sure it's also a boost coming in from them as well, knowing the fact that they do have full control of the site despite being concussed. Because if you notice as well, if you look outside, the members of Nigma Galaxy have them cornered into that specific area. So even if, let's say, Aluka wasn't able to get those kills, the other members of Nigma Galaxy can still be able to take them out, and the game or that round would basically be on their hands as well.
Yeah, I mean, if there's gonna be a wall there in the A site, there's basically a stronghold of Aloka. I mean, anything that the team of OGT throws at her, she wouldn't really budge. She doesn't really care. She knows that the power of her agent is aggression, and she knows that the power of her agent are kills, and that's why even if I'm on an Empress and I'm stunned, I don't really care. I'll spray through because I think that's the beauty of really capturing the essence of your agent. It's seen, and it's that's the reason why we're inspired. Actually, even before there was a caster cam, I had my hand over my head like this because I couldn't really believe what happened. And
Indeed.
I'm very excited to see what the second half has to offer, because at this point OGT is going to be on the defense. At least in Ascent, we've seen them really capture. I'm sorry, earlier in the first half, we've seen them capture sites so well. But now this is their time to put the walls up, to put the barriers up, because they can't really let NGX come in anymore. Because I mean, Aloka and Aya all together in terms of the aggression now. We've seen it in the map of Haven, and it's quite a scare to see. But I'm hoping that the ladies of OGT really, really think of ways on how they can really build that fortress for both of these sites.
7-5 scoreline once again, very similar to our first game of the night. Because earlier in the first game of the first series of the second match, it was 8-4. Now it is a 7-5. So let's see how things are going to pan out here on out. Because again, there's a tendency where an Orangutan was able to be ahead of the scores, but Nigma Galaxy was the one able to finish it. So let's see if it will reflect again on the second half, because this time we do see Nigma Galaxy and attackers, and defender sided would be Orangutan.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the stats right now in terms of the attacking rounds win rate. NGX has 74% out of the total games that they played. So that's quite high. Comparing it to OGTs, which is about well, it's the same thing. It's about 70%. I don't really understand. I mean, the numbers are quite equal. It's just really about this game in itself and whoever wins the pistol round. Because if it's gonna be NGX, that's quite a big lead to, or that's quite a big lead to really climb. Because assuming that they get the pistol round immediately, you would know that they would force a buy the next one. And right now, Aloka with a first blood, and Hannah following through against Kachao. I mean, Kachao really had a small plan there. She was trying to be sneaky, but it was all stopped there by Hannah. But Chapeeps responds, Aloka, no aggression for you, goodbye. And Casper's just really playing it slowly but surely with her teammates. It's gonna be the two of them together, and it's gonna be stronger if they are, and they can get the kills. But unfortunately, Peeps, she misses, and Ivory secures the kill. And this is where, this is what I was talking about. If they win the pistol round, then this is a bigger lead for OGT to really get and take from NGX.
Again, another this is the replay from earlier. So the spike has been planted, so that's going to be the post plant. And from earlier, again, it's very evident that Nigma Galaxy does have their synergy really working. The amount of teamwork that they poured into it, it just means that they already trust each other. For them to it doesn't have to be verbally, but you know, for them to really know who to refrag and whenever they try to initiate games. So Right now, Ivory will be taking one minute for the trade here from the
Spike down,
corner
B.
and drops the spike as well. Aya, though, for the trade will be having a 2 versus 3 right now, but with the gun difference, Hannah will be taking the advantage. Now they are mostly on B site now. Will be
One enemy
spotting out
remaining.
someone from mid. Aluka takes Kachao down.
Spike
And
planted.
only for Sway to be the only member remaining here for Orangutan. 4 spots out already from Market. This could be an opportunity for the others to try it. But you know what? Aya says no, I can already tap it. And there goes the 9th point for NGX.
And this is what they really need now. I mean, OGT, they're on the defense. We all know the setups that Mythic can really do, whether it be an A or B. They just really have to time really the popping of the swarm grenades quite well, placing the alarm bot where usually the dash ins of Aya will be, maybe even capturing the track and the trail of Aluka when she enters
There.
through the site. So right now they have less room for error, because each time that they make mistakes, NGX will take advantage of it. But at least at the moment, they have the advantage. They have the firepower. But I hope
Mhm.
they also get a hold of Garden at the moment, because this is a scary push. They're
Mhm.
being so quiet, like a snake.
Amateur.
But no, Kashao is ready. Not really sure if she was ready for the second, but Aya dashes away. Kachao pursues.
We have to see those again. We are, as you mentioned, stealth. Is it enough though? Is the question, because look at how dispersed they are right now. Looking at Sway as well with his position, might get off guard by Hannah in the process. Let's see. Oh, he's not gonna spot out.
Last player
But then
standing.
again, this
There
Kachao
they are.
for the trade needs to go with the kill of her own. Gwen will take the keeps down, but Mythica is there to secure, and that's gonna be a 9-6. Still in favor of Nigma Galaxy, but Orangutan very close.
Yeah, very close. And then how they're playing now is very steady as well. I really love that combination between the Neon and the Omen there, and through a hole. So basically, what they wanted to do is really secure that push. I mean, really
Mm-hmm.
stop anything from aggressing, because this is actually one of the favorable angles for arena, right? Like you use your leer and you try and get a little bit of space from A, but that's not the case. I think NGX, they have a different plan for this one. They may have failed the last time, but
Mm-hmm.
they have a plan in place.
And let's see if it is gonna bear fruit here, because it is. They still have time to try and adjust or to try and rotate whenever they can. If ever, let's say plan A doesn't work. See, look at that. Uses the smoke to hide or to conceal her location and make her into a safe low place. So that's gonna be gun out. Luca will be spotting out one, but Luca will go for the trade definitely. So to keep spotting out one here, not gonna be
Spike
another as
down,
Luca
B.
goes get her from behind. Spike is in this area. So all they have to do is just keep watch it. And of course plan it in the most convenient as possible. So that's gonna be the wall of Sway once again going up. They are gonna try inspecting the main, but I don't think they are there. So here. And that's gonna be another concuss there. Kachao that will be taking Ivory
player
in
standing.
return. And Casper as well. It's gonna be one. It's gonna be another though. Yes, for Gwen, but Sway cleans it up. And this is a 9-7 point. Donut. This is a very
Team
close
Ace.
game. This could potentially be another tie.
Yeah, I mean, the tie is on its way. So as long as I think the trend here is NGX are able to get in the sites, but when it boils down to
Spike
the
down. Player standing.
um the holds and the post plans of NGX, it's actually quite different. I think they didn't really plan out. They knew that the point of entry was going to be B, but They did not have time to reposition because as I noticed earlier that Kachao wanted to check for B main for any flanks to catch him off guard. But yep, it was really a missed opportunity for them. And not a missed opportunity there because Sway just takes down Aya. And earlier on, they were getting bullied by Aya and Alaka in mid. Now it's Sway's time to shine.
Yes, and again, the sudden pop off here is basically them being able to have that chance to really take control or take over.
Spike down
And
mid.
speaking of that, as you mentioned, Sway takes Ivory down. It's making Nigma Galaxy making it a bit challenging or a bit more of a struggle to try and take control of this side. So they're gonna try and attempt for short again. So let's see what kind of information we Casper be bringing in here and spot that Alika. That's gonna be the paranoia.
Spike
But
down
Kachao
A.
takes down Hannah.
One enemy
Process.
remaining.
Make it another good usage of
30
the
seconds
terrain
left.
again. Ooh, and not a moment to beat. We do see Casper cleaning it up, and that's 9-8 now, Donut.
Yeah, getting closer. You mentioned that there's gonna be the tie, and OG will fight for that as long as they can. And Sway taking on that operator, buying up that operator means a lot of value for them because that happened in the map of Haven, right? The moment that Sway bought up the operator, they were able to gain a lot of kills. The openings were so important to them. Now mid is important to take, but it the operator isn't there at the moment. NGX, they want to take mid yet again, but they haven't really had so much success in going through Cubby when they're trying to go to mid. The option for them usually is they want to go towards mid and then take control of market. That's heavily guarded by OGT at the moment. And Casper here, she's ready for any push in A. But Ivory
Ooh.
takes down the operator. That was unexpected.
Shadows traveling.
And here they're going to place some smokes in towards A main. They are going to target this one though, so that's gonna be the turret. Once again, detecting someone in the vicinity. Oh, the recon ball is so useful. That's a beautiful combo from Gwen and Aya, taking them down from heaven and on site. Uses the Hunter's Fury. Will it detect someone though? Not going to be. So the spike is going to be planted just under heaven. And let's see, another Rolling Thunder is to be used once again. This is a 2v4. Gwen takes one. The beat stakes 2 with the ult. Is it gonna be a 3? Is it gonna be a 3? It's a 2v1, and they say no. That's gonna be 10 now for NGX.
That is definitely a machine gun. Like everywhere that she peeps will point her crosshair. She gets the kill, and the amount of mastery when you try and control the recoil of that gun is so big, and the way that she managed to get a second kill with a headshot. I mean, she was out for more. It's just that I think NGX had a plan. Let's just really peek towards the right here because it's gonna hurt. I mean, I was already hurt when I peeked out of Gen to the left, so the timing was in favor of NGX. And I think at the moment there's I mean, when we looked at the history earlier on before this stab, it's really like 2 rounds for NGX and then 2 rounds for OGT, 1 round for NGX and then 1 round for OGT. I think that the trend is really there, and I know that the trend earlier was a rally. But basically now we're seeing a trend. I want that trend to be broken by either of the teams because OGT, they're firing up at least. The last time that the last 3 rounds before NGX actually won was really such good wins for them, and I want to see that also as Wade takes control of mid. But no timing, impeccable
Timing
timing.
indeed. Definitely, but
Spike
Chip still
down
holding
B.
on to that Odin and the Dream to equalize our board, but up to what extent though? That is going to be the lockdown once again. If Mythica doesn't get out of there, she may be a lost chance. It's gonna be a miss though. They should be seeing it, but Ivory will be going for the trade instead. And Hannah from behind gets
Enemy
Drippy
remaining.
down, and Aluka from Boathouse denies Casper of entry
Spike
from
planted.
Boathouse once more, and only Kachao to be able to clutch this on a 1v3, but that's going to be quite difficult because again, angles are monitored by the three people, but then again, Kachao just to isolate the fight. No, but the crossfire from both Hannah and Aluka is going to slowly pave the way to a match point.
Yeah, I mean, here we go again. We're at match point, but we've been proven wrong like before. At this point, at least, there were some a couple of mistakes made by OG. I'm not too sure about the intention of Casper using the from the shadows to TP out, or was that really timing
Mhm.
that she wasn't able to cancel it? Because they really wanted to know whether or not okay, one was going to be there at the back of the boathouse. But yeah, I mean the OGT timeout. We've seen magic happen with the timeouts of OGT, and with the pies though.
Mhm.
Maybe if they try to risk a little bit of like everyone else will just try to guard an A site. So basically, I mean we've
Mhm.
seen that work before, and I think Nigma Galaxy also does that before. So if they take that risk, they can probably try and stop the aggression and the push of NGX. But if NGX plays slow, with this loadout, I'm not too sure if this is going to be looking too good for OG. But still, I mean, we've had a lot of flawlesses, thrifties happen earlier on, so OG might have something in store for us for this round. Because even if the buy is very low, they have a lot of the utilities.
Mhm. Starting it off once more over here. Just Peeps will be taking one down. Sway with the trade of them. They're already pushing them at this point in time. So let's see how they are going to work it here. Luca for the trade takes the Peep down, but Gwen, however, spots out one. And then the synergy once more from Aya all the way for
Spike
them to
planted.
rotate to A. Ult coming in from Sway is going to destroy the garage, but only an alternator with a frenzy and sheriff to work with here still is able to get a Luca in the process here, catching her off guard in towards Cubby. That's gonna be another concuss, but not enough. Uses the Hunter Q once again by Gwen. Nice protect
enemy
from
remaining.
Aya as well. Oh, but with that again, we saw that, Donna, right? So there was the
Match
protect
point.
coming in from Gwen, because Japeeps was pushing from main, but then the hunter, but then there was a time where no, not Sway was able to take Aya
Enemy
down,
remaining.
but the exchange as well is also there. You see, that's Sheriff down, but there's also the protect from Gwen. So you know
Mhm.
that exchange of bullets from both sides of the team is very much intense, but it all leads us to a match point right now, don't it?
Yeah, and match point now for Enigma Galaxy. If they win this, OG is gonna get pushed to the lower brackets,
Mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
I mean we've seen the resiliency from OG. They were able to continue on, and they were pushed further. But I think in terms of the pressure that they feel right now, I hope it's not seen for this round because we all know how great she is with this operator and Japeeps now wielding that Odin. We saw her spray transfer earlier. It just boils down to who gets who first, and that was almost Kachao getting Aloka out of the way, but not really the timing that was meant for Kachao to take one. But given the
Mhm.
silence of the team of NGX, it looks like it's gonna be another B split. There's no alarm bot there in mid. So I guess it's high time for them to push out. It's gonna be Aya through
Oh,
mid, and Casper was
30
creating a
seconds
smoke
left.
for protection for the team, but just really wasn't in
oh,
her favor. And Aya gets one
yeah.
kill. It's down to Japeeps, but
That's
she's
the below.
seen. It might be another flawless, but no,
The
Kachao
double
gets
peak.
Spike
The
planted.
double peak potentials from Nigma Galaxy right now, trying to dominate
One
the
enemy
site
remaining.
is just too real. Luca with one of a kill will be spotting out his way in towards B-Long. Is this it, Donut? Because only with an operator that gets the classic is the right hand, and that's the
Attackers
right
win.
click. Donut, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, you got your first team. Actually, first two teams in the upper bracket, but for this one, you got Nigma Galaxy Racer to win into the upper brackets. And Orangutan still has their life on the line there in towards the lower bracket. So don't you guys worry. We will be able to see the Queens of the Jungle into the upcoming days of the playoffs.
comeback is real for Nigma Galaxy female. I mean, we were all waiting for this time. I mean, throughout all of the opens, everybody else was chatting. Why haven't we seen more of Aloka? Why haven't we seen more of Aya? But basically, this is their time to shine. Maybe they just let us wait for a couple of months, and then here they are winning their first series for Open 4, 13-8, while OG may have been I mean, down for a couple of rounds. They still managed to string in 8, and Japeeps here as one of the leaders of the team, getting 15 kills together with the rest of her members here. Casper displayed so much of her skill. The ace from Casper, but still it was uncontainable for NGX's place. As we mentioned, the balance isn't really there. It's tipping in favor of NGX, even when it comes to the stats on your screen right now. Headshot percentage very, very high, and the frag wins.
Mhm.
Look at the out of the 13 rounds
12.
that they played, the frag wins are 12. It means they just didn't really want to plant the spike. They just really wanted to go do
Yeah.
the strat. Let's kill.
The bloodlust is very much evident all throughout those rounds. But then again, congratulations once again to Nigma Galaxy for winning, and of course proceeding to the upper brackets. And of course, right now, if I'm not mistaken, during in our first match, we also want to congratulate Bren Victress for winning against SMG with a 2-1 scoreline. So don't worry for SMG, they still have their chance at the lower brackets as well. So this is going to be the highlights of the game that has happened earlier into, of course, the ones that you guys have witnessed. So it's very much seen how Nigma Galaxy is very much, proactive, alive, and really aware of their in-game sense, and they know. But again, we do also see the very first ace of Open 4 here in the hands of Casper. Meanwhile, there is the Revenger squad from all throughout, like get an ace and then, and then they're just gonna suddenly pop off after the 2 rounds. And here, we do also see quite the intense action. It's also kudos to the prod. I like the background music. It's very action. Do you hear it? I hope you
Yeah.
yeah, it's very. It gives you the. It makes you want to play Valorant now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was action packed, and then add in that music, that vibe really wants to make you watch another one of those. But I think there's not going to be any games now for tonight, because day 2 will be tomorrow for Open 4.
Yes, indeed. And of course, I think that is it. Or maybe do we see an updated bracket? Probably. For later. We'll just have to see that. But then again, we've seen some good stuff right here, Donut, and it's a very nice. It's a very nice way to start the open. And again, as mentioned, this is the updated bracket that we have right now. So on for tomorrow, we these are the matches that we will be witnessing for the future. Alter Ego Celeste versus Bren Victress for the upper brackets. We do have Sovereign versus Nigma Galaxy Racer for the next upper bracket match. Aresta versus SMG. Finally, we do see OGT and Thirst Reds, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Mhm.
There you go. And that is it for today, to say the least. This is going to be the schedule for tomorrow. It's going to be one upper bracket and one lower bracket. Lower bracket is going to be Thirst Red versus Orangutan. And of course, the upper bracket is going to be Sovereign versus Nigma Galaxy.
Quite exciting for tomorrow, and
Mm.
I'm very, very happy to be delivering the story of both OG and NGX and Bren Victress and SMG. But that
Mhm.
concludes. We're about to say the end for tonight. But of course, as we mentioned earlier on, there's much more exciting Valorant plays in store for you for tomorrow as we progress in Open 4. Again, this has been me, Donut, and with me is Seiya, and we are bidding adieu for only today because Open 4 will be right back at your screens tomorrow.
One enemy remaining. One down. One enemy remaining. Last play. Three down.
We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here, everybody round, everybody round here, know we get hype. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round here, know we get hype. We wanna get it crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody down, everybody